Oy'Nissh, millennial Jamaican name, food, and language. Hi again everyone, welcome to another Oy'Nissh vlog. In this video I'll be foraging for cherry, and it will be wild cherry that I'll be looking for here in Musselburgh. And I'm in an area not far from the main road where there are many cherry trees, and I have to say many of them are fit and ready to be eaten. Saying that, they are quite smaller than the normal ones you get in the supermarket, but there are still some sizable ones. Chances are there's a mixture of bitter, sour and sweet cherries, so it ranges that you have some that are slightly more sweet, slightly more bitter and slightly more sour. The idea is that when you compare all these cherries together, it gives you a fusion of taste. So it's good that I'm in this region where I can pick a variety of cherries. In Oy'Nissh it's translated as Ruproí. So yes, I am in Edinburgh searching for Ruproí or cherry. So I'm going to give you a wee preview of the various trees that I've seen so far, and this is just one small location just now. There are other parts of Musselburgh that have cherry trees, and all over Scotland obviously, but here in this particular location I'll be taking you through some of the trees that are here at the moment, and afterwards I'll have to put the camera on my head so that I can actually pick the fruit. So hopefully I'll be able to adjust the camera so that you'll be able to see the foraging process. And normally cherries are in season fully now, wherever I go in the UK, and maybe in the next week or two they can all just disappear because the birds get to them first. So I'm going to start at the very bottom here in Musselburgh, and here we've got some cherries. Yes, some of them have been the early ones. As you can see, these ones are finished by now. They were the first ones to start coming into season, but they are finished now. But here we've got some nice ripe ones at the back. Yeah. This one is slightly on the sweet to bitter side with an hint of sourness. So chances are you've got, I noticed this with cherries, it possibly the same with other fruits, but definitely with cherries, since I've been foraging with the many varieties there are, what happened is there's the original cherry taste that makes cherry what it is, but then you've got the sweet, sour and bitter taste, and the cherries vary nearing to sweet or to bitter or to sour. So it's possible to have a ratio of the three of them, and that's what makes it very unique when you've got wild cherry. Obviously for some people they would they'll buy cherry directly in the supermarket, which tend to be the very sweet ones. But I want to believe that the very sour ones that we get sometimes accounts for possibly is it acetic acid or the acid that makes it sour, which is rich in vitamin C, or citric acid rather, sorry. Right, so so the one that I've just tasted from this particular tree, you can see how this one looks. It's verged more into the sweet bitter taste, less so on the sour taste, and this is from this main tree with the trunk further at the back there. So this is just one. Here's another one which is more the darker cherry, the dark purple one. Yeah, so let's taste and see this one. This one is more on the sweet taste, with an even balance of sour and bitter. Sometimes I wonder if I should make up a way of classifying it. So there are the four tastes. There's the original cherry taste, yes. But then you've got the normal taste that we're accustomed to when it comes to fruits, bitter, sweet, sour, etc. But then the ratio vary. There must be a way to structure it. I don't know. But so the one that I've tasted is more to the sweet and a neutral bitter and sour taste, which sort of cancel out each other. Now here are some nice big sizable or medium sized ones. Look at these ones, yeah? Chances are you'll get some of these, some with similar size in the supermarket are slightly bigger. Some of them are still young, but look at the size of this one, yeah? Now, quality assurance test, it's quite hard. So my best bet is probably this one is riper. See, this one is dark purple compared to this one. You see the difference? So I've picked the wrong one. So sweet to bitter with hint of sourness, and the flesh is harder. It's still juicy, but this flesh is a bit harder. I guess this one tends to be the type you'll get in the supermarket. Yeah. And now look at this one. Wow. Tend to sweet, then bitter, slightly sour. There must be a way to create a word to describe it. I don't know, but I don't know if there's an English word when you're describing cherry this way, so I don't know. But let's see if we can find more cherry trees. Yes, here's one, but it's pretty empty at the moment. I guess the birds have got there before most of us, which is natural because it's summer. It's part of their diet. Here's one. As you can see, the bird. So, the bird have already been eating it. And here's a tiny one. Let's see. Oh, this one is ripe. Yeah. Okay. This one is even bitter sour taste with an hint of sweetness. And then we've got this one. I think this one is one of the trees that came in early, so the fruits are pretty much finished. They're overripe and birds have been eating them, so there's not much on that one. Oh, there isn't any there. So I am going to go down to the one closest to the bus stop, and then I start to forage. So I'm expecting in this small area to get two types. Firstly, the sweet bitter with hint of sourness one, then the dark purple one, which tend to sweet, even sour and bitter taste. And then there's the harder one I have to leave just now because they are not fully fit. I think there are still some way to go, except here's a bunch here that I think is forageable. But I noticed they're hard. I don't know why they're so hard. Wow. They're still edible, but just hard. So I probably could get some from there too. So I've got my wee container. And I'm going to see if I can fill it up. So I'll join you shortly. Let me put the head pro on so I can start the picking process. Okay. Where did I? Okay. So normally when foraging for cherries, it's good to go in an area where you can get a variety of them, because it just makes it easier to pick much of it, especially when they're this small. And chances are you'll be in area where you'll get some large ones too, so that's a plus. So you have to sort of plan the foraging area correctly. There's no need to go in an area where it's just one cherry tree, except the cherries are quite large, you see. So that's the difference. So those ones, I'll come back to those ones. Okay, so let me go around this side. You'll be surprised that you don't have many people coming to forage for cherries, you know. They just ripe and fall off the trees, except for the birds eating some of them. So yeah, and maybe because they're this small, maybe it's not good investment of time for people who are quite busy. They just get their cherry at the supermarket, which you would get plenty of cherry, seeing that it's one of the favorite fruits along with raspberry, strawberry during summer, and it's quite available in the UK at this time. I'm gonna put some dark ones in it. Now, after this, I'll go to another ground, another area to forage for stuff. But I'll have to go up the road. I have to go on the main road and further around. The thing is, I'm not sure if there are any cherries left on some of those trees with the birds that have been at it for the past 3 weeks. Chances are in that area I might not be able to get any, but I'll see. I'll just have to see. Here's a nice cluster of cherry. Look at that. Wow. Just so much. And they're so juicy now. And the added rain for the past few weeks helped a lot to make them more juicy, I think. It sort of helped to make it work nicely. So let me go. Cherry, cherry, cherry. So cherry in Musselburgh. Musselburgh is a nice place to forage for stuff. During spring you get wild garlic, wild leek, nettle, green ground elder. Summer you get cherry, raspberry, blackberry, etc. And here we come to the large, things I want to go into. So we get a nice one here. These ones are a bit harder, but they're still edible. You know what's funny though? Look at all the cherries on the tree at the bottom, you know. I guess the wind blow off some of them too. Yeah, I was saying, you know what's quite funny? And I noticed that with many trees too, and especially cherry trees, that at some point when you used to access them quite easily, you can't. And then a lot of the larger ones are at the top, that you'd have to get a ladder and climb along and pick along the sides, or you'd have to climb the tree directly, right? This is the case with this one. Look at the very top. It's loaded with nice edible ripe cherries, but I can't be bothered. So let's see what we've got. So I've got a little here. No, not to worry, because remember I told you it's a process at the moment, because I'll be going to different areas. So if this isn't full, that's fine. But as you can see, there's a different mixture of cherries, yeah? And they vary in taste, from those that are sweeter to those that are more bitter, and then to those that are more sour, but mostly sweet at the moment. So let me see if I can identify. So this red one tend to sweet, bitter. This one sweet, neutralness between bitter and sour. And then there's another one that I picked. Yes, this one, neutral also between bitter and sour, and it's a sweet one, yeah. So what I'm going to do now is go up the road. I'm going to take you to the other area where there are cherries. So journey along with me. So I'm going to keep the camera rolling as I walk up to that area. So okay, just look how tiny this tree is, and it's so abundant in cherry. It's just so fruitful. You could probably just spend the entire foraging on this tree alone and fill a container quite easily. It's just so loaded. Now I have to see if I can squeeze in between there. Oh gosh, there are those nice dark purple ones, but they're at the back. Oh gosh. Well, these nice ones, these red ones are nice indeed. So it's about, let me just step on these stinging nettle because they're not ideal. Let me just, so at this stage you don't want, when you're going in further, you'll probably find stinging nettle like this, so just step on them. Now I can access some of the purple ones. Oh. Oh, perfect. Direct supermarket flavor tomatoes. Slightly smaller, but they're ideal. This one is tiny, but that's fine. Here's a larger one. So these ones are similar to the ones that I showed you earlier on, except they are a lot softer than the ones I showed you when I started this vlog. They're still purple and all that, but a lot softer and juicier, I think. Maybe that's why it's softer, I would imagine. Yeah. Just let me see if I can get some more red from this tree. Here's so nice. Let me keep going. Okay. Look. There are some along the fence there, but I can't be bothered to go around there. Oh, no. I just stick to the path. Stick to the path. Stick to the path. Here are some. Oh, these ones are tiny. Let me see. Oh God. These ones are pure bitter. Well, bitter, mainly bitter. A little sour, so I still add few to it. It's good to add a little bit of bitter to it too today. The mix. Bitter. Done. Now on the way to the next tree and see what we've got. These ones look... These ones are nice and large. Oh. Oh, these ones are juicy. They're so juicy. Gee whiz. They're so juicy. Oh, I hit the jackpot here. In terms of the size, they're not bad size actually, but they're so juicy and sweet. So these ones are sweet, sour, sweet tend to bitter sour. In that order. These ones are nice. These ones are just nice homely snacks because they're very reasonable sized to munch. They're not as small as the other ones, they're big enough. Gosh. I'll take a few from here. And go around the back too. See if we can get some. Okay, I leave that tree there now and keep going. There's still loads on it, but this is all the container I've got, so I need to keep going and see if I can get others to add to the rich flavor that I'm hoping. That nice summer cherry burst flavor that's still coming into season. That's not fully there yet. This one's... try a little from this tree. This one is sweet, tend to bitter sour. However, the skin is harder. And notice the skin is harder on this one. It's harder. I don't know why, but that's the thing too. Start to notice even the skin. Some of the cherry, the skins are a lot softer than others. Sometimes it's the flesh. Sometimes you've got hard skin and hard flesh. It's just such a variety. There's no one thingy. I'll go further down. Oh, I need some dark one. It's overly red. I need to get some purpley ones. Nearly there. Oh, there we go, purpley ones, but they're too high. I could add 1 and 2. Why not? Every little bit counts. God, that's how juicy it is. Oh, that's nice. Okay, some of them are a bit high, like this one. So this is what I've been saying earlier on. When the trees are smaller, that's when you forage for them, because then they grow too tall now and you can't reach them. and the birds have all the advantages. These ones have been around for a while. As you can see, they're a lot high, but it's good because the birds have a lot more options. Oops. And I'm sure there are cherry trees near in the fence there too, but I can't bother. There's enough just on the stretch here, so it means I don't have to worry myself. There's some purple ones. Right. Okay. Oh, there we go, some purple ones. This is so handy. Purple ones. This is nice. Purple ones. These ones are so ripe. Oh my goodness. I can feel them. So ripe. So here are the purple ones I mentioned that I needed, and it's just here. Even kids can reach them. I leave the lower ones for the kids. If they actually eat them around here, I don't know. But I'm just adding some colors, as you can see. Nice color mix. Let's take one here. Okay. This tree is very mature. This tree is in it's in full season. I mean, the entire tree is in full season. So one like this, don't be surprised that it's loaded with all sort of things trying to eat the cherries, because all of it is just ripe. It's all ripe. So once it's finished, it just get finished all at once, because it's just, and maybe that's one of the disadvantages sometimes with some of the trees. They seem to get to ripe all at the same time. So that's not handy if you want to forage over a prolonged period. But if, like along this stretch, because some of them come into season maybe a week or two after each other, you get that option of picking from different stuff, different trees rather. Yeah. As you can see, ton loads. The tree is loaded. I mean, it's hundreds. It's probably thousands. Who knows? Hello. So that's it. So as mentioned, I needed a bit of purple ones, and here I've got it. See? Just sit down. So nice color, and these purple ones are actually sweet. Let me, I didn't describe the taste. Let me see. So this one is I would say sweet sweet neutral. So that means it's sweet, and the contrast between the bitter and the sour is neutral. It's sort of cancel. Okay, so I'm on my way to Queen Margaret University because the cherries are near Queen Margaret, near the university. So I'm heading in that direction, which is just 4 minutes up the road or so, and then walk along a path that is nearby to see what variety of cherries are there. Our Ruproí. So, what's your experience with foraging for cherries? For those who actually forage for cherries, I don't know how many people forage for cherries around. It would be nice to hear the experiences of people from Scotland and also throughout the UK, maybe other parts of the world too. What's your experience like foraging for cherry, and also what type of cherries do you have in your area? I don't know the varieties that I hear, but they're just tasty. Oh, okay. Ooh, the wind. Right, so just around the corner, just around the bend. So as I mentioned many times, I love foraging in Musselburgh. It's just so many places to get stuff here. I don't know why, but this one little area is just so blessed with the things that you can get. During spring, it's teeming in abundance of seasonal vegetables, wild vegetables, especially wild garlic, wild leek, and ground elder. And ground elder tend to come into play starting about March and probably late April to get those nice early leaves, those dark green leaves. But during summer, cherry, raspberry, and blackberry. I think blackberry will be ready soon. Oh, look at this. Here's a pear tree. Look at it. So that's got a way to go still. Autumn stuff. And as you can see, that's just, it's almost decoration, I would say. I think the people in Musselburgh probably believe in fruits. I think. Here we go. Apple. Here's an apple tree. Look. More apple trees over there. Yeah. But the cherry trees are just straight ahead at the top of the road. But I'm just wondering how much of them is left, how much is left on the tree actually, because the other day I went there and it was loaded, but the birds were all over it, so, and they were nice and ripe. So I'm just thinking I'll be lucky if there's anything left. And some of the trees that are just up at the top there. So I also find that foraging is good for exercising too. So as you can see, I've been walking from place to place. It's just good exercise. You know, sometime I'll be foraging for an hour or two. You just keep moving. And it's even more interesting when you have to climb hills to go forage. Like if you consider the Hermitage of Braid Hill and Blackford Hill, they're quite, that area is very hilly, so to forage in that region calls for a lot of effort, climbing and stuff, which is nice because it's like your free gym. You just need time. But the reward, organic fruits. They might be smaller, but scrumptious nonetheless. No, so those are the cherry trees over there. Can't see anything from here, and I'm not expecting to see the same size cherries that I've seen, the red ones. That was a plus to have run into those ones, but it's not the standard. They tend to be smaller in the foraging world. You get the larger ones in the supermarket. So fortunately I can start to see cherries. Here's a cherry tree. They're tiny though, these ones, very tiny. Don't know if they're fit. Start to drizzle now. So these ones aren't ready yet. I don't even have to look far, but just look. This tree is loaded, but they're very small, very small, which will take you forever to forage for, and they're not fit. Sometimes you can squeeze them and it give you an indication of how fit they are or ripe they are. Now I'm going to start from down there and work my way up and show you what options there are. So please note also that some of them, the trees are so tall now, it's very difficult to actually reach the fruits. So you have to leave it to the birds. The birds win that round, you know. But there are others that are accessible, so just have to know which one to make use of. So here we've got here are some nice big ones, but so these ones are okay, but as mentioned, they're quite high up. You'll have to get a ladder to climb, which I guess it's ideal for people who live just around the area to just get the ladder in the backyard and just put it up and forage. Then we've got these ones which are still quite high, but look, you'd have to be as tall as me, but if you're tiny it's very difficult. So it might not be ideal to forage for these ones either, unless you've got a ladder. And wow, they're really sweet. This one is sweet and tend to bitter with hint of sourness. It's just like they're so far up. There's a red one. Okay, here it is. This is a red cherry tree, but as I said, they're so far up. These ones, here's some that are accessible. But let me take you along the path here. Sometimes it's good to find a location where this is just so ideal to access them in abundance. So here we've got another one. This one tends to bittersweet sour. The other black one tend to sweet, the bitter sour. I know it sounds strange arranging them that, but I'm just speaking in terms of ratio, in terms of the strength of the taste. And there are loads of these ones, so this is nice. Wow. So as I can see from this tree, which tend to give you more of a bitter variety, it means that you now can have a nice cocktail of bittersweet sour cherries. And because they're quite low down, it's easy to pick these ones, which I don't mind. At some point I have to put it on the ground so I can pull the tree down and pick. Otherwise so it's now a balancing act to get it in the container. That's where a basketball skill comes into play, and I'm not good at basketball, so that tells you that I might be here till tomorrow trying to fill this. So let's pull this down, and yeah. Now please note that normally the foraging concept is a process. Yes, because what you get in the supermarket tend to be like an improved version of what you get in the foraging world. So in terms of cherry, most of what you get in the supermarket comes sweet already. But these ones, it's a mixture of very bitter, sour, etc. sweet ones. So the first thing is getting accustomed to the size and the taste first and then the size. Which if you're used to just getting them from the supermarket, you're used to large dark cherries that are sweet. But you have to think about when foraging for cherries that they are not all large, they are not all sweet, and they are not all purple. So after, I guess it might take you 2 years of foraging to get used to a particular fruit. It's not immediate, because when I started with cherries, I noticed the bitter ones were a bit of a problem for me because I was so used to what the supermarket offers. But after a couple of years of eating them, it becomes sort of innate now to have bitter, sweet and sour cherry. That's why it's good to have a variety of them, because they are not all bitter, sweet or sour. But when you're eating these three types together with the various ratio of taste, then it's just so flavorsome. So imagine making smoothie out of them or something like that, juice, etc. Right, let me move on to the next section because the other ones are a bit high. So let me just go up the road and just take the bag. Right, so here we now come to another type of cherry. So these ones, so these are red cherries. They are actually, I want to believe these ones mimic the large ones I picked earlier on, except they are the smaller versions, yes? But the thing is about the quality of the taste too. Let's see. So that's the size of it. So they're rather sweet. They are rather sweet. They're smaller but sweet. So it's sweet and tend to bitter, sour. So I'll just get a few of these. So I'm getting my colors, not my rainbow colors, because this doesn't add up to rainbow color, but just my advantage is that I'm tall, so it's easier that way. But if you're a bit shorter, it might be a bit more difficult, except you've got a ladder and you live nearby, and or you come earlier before the birds finish them all. And just go around. So this was a lot this shoe is a lot fuller than it is, but again the birds have been at it, so can't complain. They have to be fed too. Let me see. Here are some ones. Yes. Right, so let me see if I can move to the next tree. So that's the entrance to Queen Margaret up there. So I'm in the Queen Margaret area anyways. So I guess this is also handy for students. And now it's summer, I guess it's like the master students, PhD and so forth, they'll be around. So it's handy for them to like forage in this area too, to get some cherries, especially for those who are coming from countries where they don't have these type of cherries. But please bear in mind, if you live here, obviously you need a ladder, which most people do have. So it's more handy for people actually from Musselburgh to forage here, because it means that they can just get the ladder and climb and get the cherry. Got that nice cluster there. So here we've got a mixture of purple and red. Okay, this is what I'm talking about. So if you've got this, suppose you're just eating this as it is, which in most cases eating fruits and, well, certain veg are best eaten raw, others are definitely have to cook. But let's look at fruits. So like this now, it's best eating it like this to get the best of the nutrients. and having it in that combination of dark red, bright red, red yellow, very dark purplish, also attributes various tastes and flavors, etc. So when you combine all these together in your mouth at one time, you get the message. It's just absolute magic, food magic. So here we've got some nice dark purple ones, and these are tiny, and obviously to many people it's not worth it. So what do you do when you've got trees like this with so many small ones? Look how tiny it is, yes? And this tree is loaded with tiny ones. The best bet is to have a combination of them. So you need to have access to large cherries too and small ones, because it helps, unless you've got time on your hand, it helps when you've got a mixture of both. So you get the flesh also from the larger one, because these aren't really fleshy. But if you're thinking about making sauce, a cherry sauce, or to flavor cakes, these are ideal, because it's not so much for the flesh that you're going for, but the flavor, and moreover to the color. So like a nice summer cherry cake, using these ones, you get the pits out, or the stones, and then you get the flesh and mainly the juice, the color. And if you're baking, it's best to use the dark sugar, like the very dark demerara sugar, instead of the light one, with this type of color. So you get this rich, wild, this rich summer wild dark cherry, dark red or purple cherry cake. And obviously use the normal ingredients of flour, butter, egg, sugar. Obviously vegans will use other alternatives, and gluten-free people will probably use gluten-free. They're free from, you get nice free from mix like at Asda and Tesco. Like for students at Queen Margaret University, if you're going to make a cake from these ones, you see how tiny they are? So you squeeze them out in a bowl, get all you have to do is get the stones out, and then add it to your cake mix. But if you're vegan and you're free from, just go to the local Tesco, that's just down the road, and you can get free from flour and equivalent vegan ingredients for making cake. And these would be ideal for you if you're a Queen Margaret University student doing a master's or PhD, and you'll be around for summer to make a cake for you and a friend one weekend. So all you need is some flour if you're just making a standard cake. So get your flour, possibly let's say 2 loaves of cake, like 2 bread, the bread tin. I would say 600 grams of self-raising flour, and in about 300 grams of this, that's without the pit. Once you remove the pit, 300 grams of it, so you got the liquid. And you need about 4 eggs, small eggs, 3 medium size or 2 large eggs. But remember the demerara, dark demerara sugar, when working with very dark fruits, it's best to complement it with the demerara, because also the very dark demerara sugar comes with its own flavor too, so it enriches the cake too. Obviously it's not meant for you to indulge too much in it, because you know, obesity crisis in the world today. Yes, so you cream your butter and your sugar, Then you incorporate the egg slowly, and then you add the flour. What you want to do is to leave the cherry mixed for last, because that's got more liquid in it. So leave it for last, and then you'll see the richness of the mixture. It will be very, very, I wouldn't say medium purple, purplish color, but when it's baked you get that nice medium. It depends on how much cherry you use too. You can get it darker, but I guess with the demerara it makes the cake a bit darker too, so it appears to be a darker purple just because you're using the dark demerara sugar, so it's automatically darker. So the purple appears a lot more darker as it would have been if it was just the normal white castor sugar. Yeah, so there we go. So we've, as you can see, look at this now. See the difference? So let me cover this one. So as you can see, I've already got a container filled with a variety of cherries, small, medium, large size. Ratio of bitter, sweet and sour. Some tend to sweet, then bitter, then sour. Some sweet with a neutrality between bitter and sour, and some larger than others. Some skin is red, some red yellow with a bit of orange, and some dark or purplish. Eating all these together gives a nice blend of taste, and I believe it's, for me, it's better than just eating just the one type that you get in the supermarket with generic taste. If you're making juice, this is where the real magic comes, because with such a variety of flavors, just imagine the taste that you'll get. So if you're making a smoothie, like supposing you're making a smoothie with banana, and banana is very nice for smoothies because it smooths the flavor over nicely, I believe. And pineapple, so frozen banana, you take the banana out of skin, you freeze it with the pineapple already freeze, and mango, and now you've got cherries. Take the pits out, or the stones out of them, and then later on when you're making the smoothie, you add the icy bits together and in a nice blender, and you smooth it out. Oh. And imagine the flavors from the cherry that you'll get with the bit of tropical, the tropical fruits. You see what I'm saying now? It's just magic. Now we're going to the next bit. So Queen Margaret is just up there, and the train station, and I'm going down this path, and as you can see, cherry trees already. Look, and these are different flavors too. Look, so now you understand what I'm saying. Musselburgh is so rich for stuff. So look how close Queen Margaret is. So that means the students at Queen Margaret University, it's a shame because this come into season when many of them are away already, are getting ready for graduation, etc. etc. But for those who are still around, you're just literally by the cherry trees and you just pick, wash and eat. Although I'm not washing it. Oh, this one is bitter, tend to sour sweet. Right. So I've got my container ready to go. Look at this. These are other cherry trees, separate ones, you know. So they come with their own flavor, as I mentioned. So This one is the opposite of the last one. This one is bitter tend to sweet sour. The other one is bitter tend to sour. Bitter tend to sour sweet. So it's the ratio. And then here's another one with its own flavor, I would imagine. I wouldn't say all cherry trees have cherry flavor, but we're talking about the ratio of bittersweet and sourness that makes each cherry unique. Here's another one. So, boom. Woo. This one is sour tend to, no, this one is bitter tend to sour, hardly any sweetness. But that's fine. I can manage. Can you? So to all the Queen Margaret University students, come and get a cherry, get a container, get some cherries. But also all the Musselburgh folks, you know already, you live here, just pick. I'm going to put the head pro on, give me a second. Okay, here I go. This is where patience is necessary, because as you can see they're quite small, so you can't be rushing. And you don't want to be picking off the ones that aren't ready yet, because then you won't eat them and they'll go to waste. The birds won't be happy, can guarantee ya. Sometimes the real challenge is not so much that they're small, but you're spoiled for choices. You're like, which one do I pick? Because you can just pull off many of it. But as I said, you don't want to get the unripe ones. Here we go. Some so I get some of that. Get some right here. So the idea is, you don't want, for me, I don't overpower it with loads of bitter ones. So I want to get maybe obviously it's fruit, so we all want it to be slightly more sweeter. So you know, have to judge according to your taste. That's why I go along first and I taste in a particular region what they're like, and I can pick according to the taste. So in terms of ratio, if there's a tree that's more sweet or so forth, I might get half of that type of cherry. Then the one that are sort of average bitter sour, then I get half of that. So there's a slightly more sweeter taste, but you get the balance with the sour and the bitter. But again, everybody's taste bud, it varies. Some people might not be able to handle the bitter cherries. It's just not their thing, not according to the supermarket. Here's another one. This is a separate one. It's just that it's quite high. And taste it. I love tasting cherries, you know, cause there's just so many up there, but I'll press on. I'm sure there are plenty more cherries to be had. Let's just continue the journey to see where it leads. Okay, no cherries so far, so that's not good. Okay, here we've got some. Let's see. Smells a bit hard. Oh gosh, this one is bitter. Ooh, my goodness. I mean, bitter with an hint of sour and sweet. Whoa, my goodness. Your kids will struggle to eat these ones. Whoa. Taste this one. Oh gosh. The world isn't fair, you know. The one that I just tasted, these ones here, these nice red ones there, they're so sweet, but look how far look how high they are up in the tree. While those ones which are low are very bitter. You should see my face now, people. How upset I am. Life isn't fair, is it? Gosh, why does it do that? Oh. Can't believe it. But can't always get what you want, so you have to make do with what you've got. So here we are. There are some, but they're too high. Except these ones I can reach. So the people who just live here, it's so ideal for them. They just pop by, even for the kids, just pick. But apparently, as you can see on the ground, they just ripe and fall off. As I said, people just buy at the supermarket. I mean, it's a bit difficult for most people to be picking wild cherries and eating them when you can get the nice big juicy one. But as I said, what you can do with the wild cherries is just a lot more, they're a lot more versatile than just the large cherries, which are more fleshy. Yes, the large one at the supermarket, but when you want real flavor, these are the ones that come to, because it gives us such diverse combinations, and every cherry tree seems to just have its own unique sound. I have to go around the back there, which I don't feel like going around at the moment. That one is sweet. Oh, it's a sweet tree. Always check for for ones that birds have been eaten already. So just be mindful, you know. You can sort of feel it when you're picking it. After a while, after you start picking cherry for a while, you get used to how they feel. Even before you pluck them, you can feel if they've been bitten by birds. And just be mindful also, for example, like this wee branch, as you can see, this thingy, be mindful of these on your eyes. Yes, so you know, just forage sensibly, because you don't want anything to be joking you in the eye. So just be mindful. It's a nice cluster. So like this one, because it's a nice cluster, as you can see, this one the birds start to eat, so you work around it. So it's not always, it's not recommended to see a cluster and just pick all of them. You have to inspect that bunch, and then if it's all okay, then you can pick, because then you can see a bunch like these ones, they're very in how red they are. Some of them are red with white streaks, some of them comes like this and are ripe. You see, pale light pink and ripe. So if the tree, if most of them on the tree at this stage is light pink and ripe and soft, it means that that's how the tree comes. But then if it's mainly red and you see the pink ones, it means that those ones aren't fit. Then you've got these ones. As you can see, these ones are just this color. So they're ripe like this. You just have to, these ones need a little bit more, but they won't get a little redder than this. They just stay like that. So in essence, you end up with, that's what I was saying earlier on, with a cocktail of cherries with so many flavors, so many shades of red, which contribute to the taste also. And it just makes the summer fruit experience worthwhile, but also forage experience too. So it's now what, 16th, 17th of March? July. So this is peak cherry time. Cherries in season, full in season. Within the next 2 weeks, they're all gone. Well, mostly because the birds, yeah, the birds, remember, that's contributing factor to cherries disappearing from foraging availability if you don't come early. So it's always good. Let's just check that one. So I'm not going to spend much time on the tree, but as you can see, there's just so much option to forage for on this one tree. But it's good to go to other ones too. Let me see if I can. So here's another type of tree there with a light pink. Let me go enter from that side. So these ones are ripe, but as you can see, they're slightly pink, but they're ripe still. It's bitter, tend to sour sweet. Okay, so I'm getting there. I need other colors too. I need some darker color ones. So maybe I'll have to keep going, heading down the way. But at least I've got some here, which is good. Here we've got another type. And I noticed the shape different too. Some are a lot more rounder, some are longer. This is the pink zone. Those are pink cherries. This one is sour, tend to bittersweet. Look at those nice dark red ones. I want some of those, but to access it. It's how accessible they are sometimes. Yum. Oh, these ones are sweet, tend to bitter sour, but mainly sweet. So that's a nice ratio. And as you can see, darker red, slightly darker, not the dark purple. Hopefully I get some down the road, down the way. Look at these wee gems. Dark, not dark red, I would say bright red. So that should make my fruit bowl interesting in the coming days. So no sooner than the cherries are out of season with the raspberries going too, then the blackberries come into play. And then mulberry. And then when mulberry tend to come into play during autumn, late September. No, the beginning of September, I think. Yeah, with blackberries and elderberries. But elderberries, you have to cook those before you eat them. You can't just eat them like that straight away. You have to sort of cook them first. That's nice. The cover, let me see. What's the beauty about this? What I mentioned earlier on, you've got so many in one area, it makes it a lot easier to forage for. So you've got choices, but it makes the foraging experience easier. These trees are small now, but they all grow tall and then we can't access them. So if you're from Musselburgh, you better make use of foraging for these now, because once they grow taller, then that's that. They're out of reach, and well, I guess, you know. Let me see. Oh, look at this nice dark one, dark color one. See, look at some. But there too. Look how these ones are large. Oh gosh, look how large they are. Look, nice that. But look how. Oh my goodness, they're too high. Oh, I told you that sometimes you end up seeing some. Look how tall they are. Look how high they are, and sort of defeat the purpose of seeing them in the first place. Cause you get so discouraged now. There it is. It's just right there. Just there. Might as well let them see that. Because now you get nightmares that there they are, just right there, they can't access it. Have you ever had that experience? There's something that you want, you're looking at it and you just cannot access it, and it hurts. Who knows that foraging could be a bittersweet experience, literally a bittersweet experience with an hint of sourness. Oh, look at this one. Oh, look how red it is. Gee, look how, gosh, look at those ones at the top there, right there in the middle. It's all shiny. Now, quality assurance test, peeps. Yeah, get off, I don't want that one. Let me try this knife, this one. Yeah. Okay. Let's just. Look how tiny this tree is, and it's so abundant in cherries. It's just so fruitful. You could probably just spend your entire foraging on this tree alone and fill your container quite easily. It's just so loaded. Now I have to see if I can squeeze in between there. Oh gosh, there are those nice dark purple ones, but they're at the back. Oh gosh. Well, These nice ones, these red ones are nice. So it's about, let me just step on these stinging nets because they're not ideal. Let me just, so at this stage you don't want, when you're going in further, you'll probably find stinging net like this, so just step on them. Now I can access some of the purple ones. Now oh, perfect. Direct supermarket flavored ones. Small, slightly smaller, but they're ideal. This one is tiny, but that's fine. Here's a larger one. So these ones are similar to the ones that I showed you earlier on, except they are a lot softer than the ones I showed you when I started this vlog. They're still purple and all that, but a lot softer and juicier, I think. Maybe that's why it's softer, I would imagine. Yeah. Just let me see if I can get some more red from this tree. Let me keep going. Okay. Look. There are some along the fence there, but I can't be bothered to go around there. Oh, nope. I just stick to the path. Stick to the path. Stick to the path. Here are some. Oh, these ones are tiny. Let me see. Oh God. These ones are pure bitter. Well, bitter, mainly bitter. A little sour, so I still add few to it. It's good to add a little bit of bitter to it too today. The mix, bitter, done. Now on the way to the next tree and see what we've got. These ones look. These ones are nice and large. Oh. Oh, these ones are juicy. They're so juicy. Gee whiz. They're so juicy. Oh, I hit the jackpot here. In terms of the size, they're not bad size actually, but they're so juicy and sweet. So these ones are sweet, sour, sweet tend to bitter, sour. In that order. These ones are nice. These ones are just nice homely snacks because they're very reasonable sized to munch. They're not as small as the other ones, they're big enough. Gosh. I'll take a few from here. Go around the back too, see if we can get some. Okay, I leave that tree there now and keep going. There's still loads on it, but this is all the container I've got, so I need to keep going and see if I can get others to add to the rich flavor that I'm hoping. That nice summer cherry burst flavor that's still coming into season. That's not fully there yet. This one's, try a little from this tree. This is one is sweet, tend to bitter sour. However, the skin is harder. And notice the skin is harder on this one. It's harder. I don't know why, but that's the thing too. Start to notice even the skin. Some of the cherry, the skins are a lot softer than others. Sometimes it's the flesh. Sometimes you've got hard skin and hard flesh. It's just such a variety. There's no one thingy. Go for the dome. Oh, I need some dark one. It's overly red. I need to get some purpley ones. Nearly there. Oh, there we go, purpley ones, but they're too high. I could add 1 and 2. Why not? Every little bit counts. God, that's how juicy it is. Oh, that's nice. Okay, some of them are a bit high, like this one. So this is what I've been saying earlier on. When the trees are smaller, that's when you forage for them, because then they grow too tall now and you can't reach them. And the birds have all the advantages. These ones have been around for a while. As you can see, they're a lot high, but it's good because the birds have a lot more options. Oops. And I'm sure there are churches near in the fence there too, but I can't over there. There's enough just on this stretch here, so it means I don't have to pour myself with some purple ones. Right. Oy'Nissh. Okay. Oh, there we go, some purple ones. This is so handy. Purple ones. This is nice. Purple ones. These ones are so ripe. Oh my goodness. I can feel them. It's so ripe. So here are the purple ones I mentioned that I needed, and it's just here. Even kids can reach them. I leave the lower ones for the kids. If they actually eat them around here, I don't know. But I'm just adding some colors, as you can see. Nice color mix. Let's take that one here. Okay. This tree is very mature. This tree is in it's in full season. I mean, the entire tree is in full season. So one like this, don't be surprised that it's loaded with all sort of things trying to eat the cherries, because all of it is just ripe. It's all ripe. So once it's finished, it just get finished all at once, because it's just, and maybe that's one of the disadvantages sometimes with some of the trees. They seem to get to ripe all at the same time. So that's not handy if you want to forage over a prolonged period. But if, like along this stretch, because some of them come into season maybe a week or two after each other, you get the option of picking from different stuff, different trees rather. Yeah. As you can see, ton loads. The tree is loaded. I mean, it's hundreds, it's probably thousands. Who knows? Hello. So that's it. So as mentioned, I needed a bit of purple ones, and here I've got it. See? Just put it down. So nice color. And these purple ones are actually sweet. I didn't describe the taste, let me see. So this one is I would say sweet neutral. So that means it's sweet, and the contrast between the bitter and the sour is neutral. They sort of cancel out each other. So it's sweet neutral, I would say. I could use that term, sweet neutral, but that's how it is. Right, there we go. So there we go, not a bad selection. Might able to add a little bit more to it and just adjust it. Wow, this is full. Okay. I don't know if this particular path, this probably have a particular name, this path, I don't know. Maybe I should look for the sign. But if I'm to give it a name, I would call it Cherry Lane. It just feels like a cherry lane to me. You know, literally, Cherry Lane. Cherry Lane by Queen Margaret University. Cherry Lane. Cherry trees. Oh, I'm spoiled for choices. There's not much more room left in this thing. I need to keep going. So they're not as large as the supermarket ones, but the variety. Look at, here's another tree with black cherries. Let me taste that. This one. Oh, sweet tend to bitter sour. I leave those for the birds. Actually, let me add 2 or 3 to the mix. Okay. So, yes, Cherry Lane is quite fruitful. Cherry Lane, Queen Margaret University. Very fruitful. Just look. My second container. And I haven't even picked much. I was just picking bits here and there from each tree. Look. Trees again. With cherries. Look. More cherries. Gosh. Cherry Lane. Cherry Lane, Queen Margaret University. Pardon burned me. Ooh. I like cherry. Okay. Oh, there's a tree. There is a tree. Oh. I don't have any space in my container. Look at cherry, people. Wow. Nice dark cherries. Let me taste it. Mmm. Sweet tend to bitter sour. Oh. Gosh. I'm in cherry heaven. Or Ruproí. It's just so much. Gosh. Let's look at that. Gosh. Now on this street it's a lot better. As you can see, they're coming into season. They are coming to fitness at different stages. You can see those that are darker purple and those that are still red, and then you've got the slightly pale pinkish one or so. That means they are not fit yet. But it means though that for the next 3 or even up to 3 weeks, you probably still might have cherry if the birds doesn't eat the unripe ones. Yeah. And you'll be surprised how quick the birds can devour the stuff. Let's see, here's a second one. I think it's the same type. It's probably just so much cherry. Cherry Lane is very blessed with the fruit. Got my shirt. Even my shirt is rejoicing in cherry. This one's juicy. Wow. Wow. Yes. The container is full, unfortunately, so I can't. There's no space for any. No space for any more, I think. I'm filling the corners. I'm telling you. Indeed, Musselburgh. Thanks for Cherry Lane. I can't put anything else in it. I mean, look at that. Gosh. Wow. And here's another tree. Gosh. Oh. Look at this people, eh? Abundance of it. Gosh. Oh my goodness. Trees loaded. Look at that. Jeez. And here are some more red ones. Goodness gracious. Don't like those ones. Oh, these red ones are so sweet. Red neutral, so there's a nice blend between bitter and sour, but mainly red sweet. Oh. Oh my word. There's just so much cherry. Oh, I've hit the jackpot, people. I mean, Cherry Lane, man. Cherry Lane, Musselburgh. Cherry Lane, Musselburgh is the place to be. Wow. That's it. I can't pick anymore. Even if I want to, but look, cherries. Gosh. I can't pick anymore. Right. Sorry. Wow. Cherry Lane, Queen Margaret University. So blessed. Look at the variety of cherries. Just look at that. Of all different colors, shade, not all different colors. Red, dark red, pinkish, light pink, purple, bittersweet, sour. Yes. And look how much cherry is still in the tree. It's everywhere. Everywhere. Hello.
Oh yeah.
Cherries, look at that. It's just everywhere. Yes, they're cherries, they're edible. They are. It's
Yeah,
quite...
no, I've got some round by me. I'm just looking at the colour. When's the best time to pick?
No!
No,
Look,
I
yes.
mean, so you've got kind of red ones and you've got like dark.
Yes, you could.
So
So,
you're okay picking those ones? That's
yes,
all,
have a taste.
I had a taste earlier on.
Yeah.
I
So,
always wash them. I have a thing about got to wash them before you
yes,
taste
yes.
them. But you don't have to wait till they've gone to that colour before you pick them.
No, for these ones, the purple one, they want them to be this color, but the red ones, you have to check with the red ones. So this one, you look for bright red, but then there are some that are ripe when they are pinkish, light pink. So like this one, it's ready, so it's light pink, but you've got the bright red ones, which are these ones. Then you have the dark red ones, which are
So they're
these
all
ones.
ripe then?
They're all right. So I think Cherry Lane is quite ideal.
Oh yeah.
Right,
I'm
Rowan?
going to go out tomorrow and pick some.
Yes.
I'll see about making jam with them.
Jam.
Yeah. I'd make
On
my own
toast
jam.
there, yeah.
I do like rhubarb, ginger, blackcurrant, raspberry.
And rhubarb is in season 2.
I've done 2 lots of rhubarb already.
Oh, look at that. Cherry, it's ideal time for cherry. So you get pectin to put with it. I just reduce it.
Alright, you have to take the stone out and then just reduce it.
Reduce, or you don't put pectin in it. That's fine. That
Oh
I
yeah,
reduce it.
don't use pectin. Unless it's strawberry. You have to use pectin for
Yes,
strawberry.
yes. Is it? You don't need that even for things like blackberry. Once you reduce it, it just automatically.
When it becomes blackberry season, there's tons around here.
I think there are 5 times more blackberry than there are raspberries.
Yeah.
It's everywhere.
Yeah, I used to do too much blackberry. I used to go out and like spend 2 hours picking in the morning, make it in the afternoon, but I had about 30-40 jars of it.
I know, it was like, boy,
You
some.
just end up giving, you give up, you give at least half of it away, because like my mum, my sister, my brother, and I've got 3 friends, so that's
Yes.
like 6 jars out straight away, you know.
Yeah, you can't finish the blackberries. I mean,
Yeah.
they're everywhere. I mean, they just dominate the scene.
Yeah.
But then elderberry is another thing. Elderberry is the same like blackberry, but again, you have to cook it
Yeah, you have to.
with elderberry, definitely. But blackberry can just have it. So I'm fortunate to get all these. Obviously, I'm going to wash them and all that, but let's look at the colors. That's what I love, you know, and the variation. But they have different flavors because the level of sweetness and bitterness and sourness vary depending on the one you're eating. So if you add 3 or 4 different types with the ratio vary, just imagine the fusion in your mouth.
So does the sweetness and the bitterness vary on the colour
Yes.
of them? How much they've been ripened?
Yes, not so much the ripeness, but I think it's the type of cherry.
All right.
So you've got some, I sort of class them, you've got some that are more bitter,
Yeah.
tend to sweet, then sour. Then you have the sweet one that tend to more bitter afterwards, then sour. Then you have the very sour ones which are slightly sweet and bitter. But then because of the different combination, if you're eating say 4 or 5 of them because they're so small and you pop them in your mouth, or if you make a jam with all of them, or you make a smoothie, just imagine the flavor.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah.
So you take the stones out,
Yeah,
and then you
obviously,
freeze them, and you freeze the banana, freeze the pineapple, freeze the mango. You need these things, banana, pineapple, mango, because you get that nice tropical overtone, but also you get the seasonality of the cherry.
Yeah.
And because you get this, you got the nice darkish color in it.
Yeah.
So it comes out as medium light purpley color.
Yeah. And it's been really good talking to you. It's like been really, like, you know, I've learned a lot. Thank you.
No problem, sir.
No, I
And-
don't need to call me sir, please.
Okay, all right. No, that's fine. It's good catch up with someone who loves foraging too. I'm a big forager.
Yeah, been really useful. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Chilio. So, right. I am going to cover up now and on my way. And that sort of conclude. Actually, I should take you down to where the track ends, but let me put the thing on first. Let me put this back on my head. Sorry. So, Cherry Lane, I wanted to show you where. Sorry, I just call it Cherry Lane. I don't think it's the official name for it. I just call it Cherry Lane because there are so many cherry trees. It's probably the most fruitful part in Musselburgh for cherry. Well, that I've discovered so far. So it starts by Queen Margaret University, and the Cherry Lane just stretches down to where I started first. So I need to walk down to that side so you have an idea as to the length of Cherry Lane. So I'm going straight down here. I'm heading to the main road. We are started. Today is a cherry day indeed. Yes. So Cherry Lane terminates a few yards down the road. And it's a nice sunny day, which makes it ideal for foraging. And it's better when it's like this when you're foraging for raspberries, definitely. When it's wet, it's annoying. Foraging in particular for raspberries, but for cherries, it's fine. More cherries. Smaller, these ones are smaller. Wow, look at this tree. Gosh. It's like the cherries are popping. They're so bright and red. Just. There we go. Main road. The cherry trees again. Hooray! So oh wow, okay. So here we're back on the main road where we all started. And here we even have some more cherries just here. Look at that. And these ones are soft, very soft, and they're big, you know. Well, not big, they're tiny still, but. And we started here, remember? So now you know that probably you can approach Cherry Lane from here and go up the way. I call it Cherry Lane, but yeah, I think. I don't know. And we're back on the main road. Yeah, so this concludes the foraging for cherries in Musselburgh, and I hope you enjoy this vlog. Foraging for cherry or Ruproí along Cherry Lane, Queen Margaret University, and see you in the next foraging vlog regarding cherry. Thanks for watching.